Part 1. Waiting to feel ready is how you stay stuck. Hi everyone. Welcome to English Rise. If you want to grow your English and your mindset together, subscribe and stay close to this journey. Let's begin. Most people have a silent rule in their mind. I will act when I feel ready. I will speak English when I feel confident. I will start that project when I feel motivated. I will change my life when I feel strong and clear. So they wait. They wait for confidence, clarity, motivation, courage, the perfect moment. But these things do not usually come first. They come after you act. The message of this video is simple and uncomfortable. You do not need to feel ready to do the right thing. You can feel afraid, uncertain, tired, insecure, and still act anyway. Part 2. The lie that your feelings must come first. Since childhood, you probably learned to respect your emotions. This is good. Feelings are signals. They give you information. But somewhere along the way, you may have believed a lie. If I do not feel like doing it, I cannot do it. If I feel anxious, I must wait until the anxiety disappears. If I feel shy, I must wait until I become confident. This sounds logical, but in practice it is a trap, because some feelings only change after you move. You do not wait to feel strong and then go to the gym. You go to the gym weak and become stronger. You do not wait to feel confident and then speak English. You speak English insecure, and after many repetitions, confidence appears. Your feelings are important, but they are not always the boss. When you give them absolute power, they will often choose short-term comfort over long-term growth. Acting anyway is not about ignoring emotions. It is about not letting them be the only driver of your life. Part 3. Your brain is designed to avoid discomfort. To understand why acting anyway is hard, you need to remember something about your brain. Your brain was designed for survival, not for greatness. It loves safe, familiar, predictable. New actions, new risks, new conversations feel dangerous, even when they are not. So your brain uses feelings to protect you. Fear, anxiety, laziness, doubt. Not because you are weak, but because your system is trying to keep you away from possible pain. Speak English. You might feel shame. Change your routine. You might feel tired. Start a project. You might fail. Your brain says, let us stay here. We know this place. It is not great, but it is safe. Acting anyway means you see this pattern and you answer, thank you for trying to protect me, but this time I will move even with this feeling. You are not broken. You are just human. Part 4. How this shows up in your English. Let us look honestly at your English. How many times have you thought, I want to speak more, but I do not feel ready. I will participate in meetings when my English is better. I will talk to native speakers when I feel less nervous. So you wait. You keep watching content. You keep collecting tips. You keep planning. But in real life, you stay quiet in meetings. You say only the minimum. You escape from chances to speak. You are not waiting for the right technique. You are waiting for the right feeling. A day when you will wake up and magically feel calm, confident, fluent. That day does not come, because the feeling you want is on the other side of the action you avoid. You want to feel safe speaking, without passing through the period of speaking while feeling unsafe. Life does not work like that. With English, the rule is very clear. You speak badly, you speak badly, you speak badly, and then slowly you speak less badly. Then one day you speak and think, wait, this was not so terrible. That relief only appears because you acted anyway in the uncomfortable phase. Part 5. Motivation is a result, not a requirement. Many people say, I wish I had your motivation, as if motivation is a magical gift you receive first. But often, motivation is a result of action, not the cause. You start moving, even with low energy. You do a small task. You feel a bit better. You see a tiny result. Your brain says, interesting, this is working. Then motivation grows. James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, shows this as a simple loop. Action comes first, then comes motivation, then more action. If you wait to feel motivated before you act, you reverse this loop. You freeze. Act anyway means you start with very small actions, even when your motivation is close to zero. For example, you do not feel like studying English. Instead of waiting, you say, I will listen to English for 5 minutes. Not because I am motivated, because this is who I want to be. Those 5 minutes change your state a little. You feel a small victory. Maybe you continue. Maybe you do not. But you have already broken the rule that feeling must come first. Part 6. Lower the bar, not your ambition. Acting anyway does not mean forcing yourself to do giant things every day while you feel horrible. It means keeping your direction and lowering the size of the action when your emotions are heavy. Your ambition can still be big. For example, I want strong English for my career. But on a difficult day, you do not say, I failed because I did not study for 1 hour. You say, today my mind is tired. I will do 10 minutes of simple listening, or I will speak alone for 5 minutes. I will not break the chain of acting. You respect your limits without abandoning your identity. This is very different from doing nothing. Doing nothing feeds the story. I only move when conditions are perfect. Doing something small feeds the story. I am the kind of person who acts even when it is not ideal. Over months, this small difference creates 2 completely different lives. Part 7. Ignoring the voice. Listening to the value. In your mind, there will always be a voice before action. I am tired. I am not ready. Later. Tomorrow. This will be embarrassing. This will not be perfect. Act anyway does not mean you will stop hearing that voice. It means you learn to separate the voice from the value. The voice says, do not speak English in this meeting. You will make mistakes. The value says, I want to become someone who participates. This matters for my career and my future. You hear the voice? You respect that it exists. But you follow the value. You still raise your hand. You still say the sentence. You still try. Later, you may feel, that was not perfect, but I am proud I acted. With time, the voice loses some power because your actions are not obeying it blindly. You are training your brain to see that discomfort is not a danger. It is just a feeling. Part 8. A simple formula to act anyway. Let us create a practical tool. When you are in front of something important and you feel resistance, you can use a simple formula. First, name the feeling. I feel anxious. I feel lazy. I feel insecure. Second, name the value. But I value growth. I value my future. I value my English. I value my health. Third, choose a tiny action that respects the value. For the next 5 minutes, I will act according to the value, not the feeling. Then you move. You open the book. You start the email. You say one sentence. You press play on the audio. You stand up and walk. Not for 1 hour, for 5 minutes. At the end, you can stop. But if you want, you can continue. The success is not in the duration. The success is in the fact that you acted anyway, even with the feeling present. This builds a new self-image. Not, I am someone who always obeys my emotions, but I am someone who can feel difficult things and still move in the direction I chose. Part 9. Who you become when you act anyway. Living like this will not remove fear from your life. It will not make you suddenly brave and calm all the time, but it will change how you see yourself. You become someone who does not wait for perfect motivation, does not wait for total confidence to use English, does not wait for the disappearance of fear before taking a step. You still feel nervous in meetings, shy with new people, tired after work. But you do not add the old sentence, because I feel this, I must do nothing. With English, you become the person who speaks with an accent and speaks anyway, makes mistakes and continues anyway, feels judged sometimes and returns the next day anyway. And because you act more, you practice more. Because you practice more, you improve more. Because you improve more, your feelings slowly change. Courage grows inside action, not outside. You have reached the end of Act Anyway here on English Rise. You saw that. Waiting to feel ready is often a sophisticated way to stay in the same place. You understood that. Your brain is built to avoid discomfort, not to maximize your potential. You brought this directly to your English journey, seeing how often you delay speaking and practicing because you are waiting for confidence that can only appear after many imperfect actions. You learned to lower the size of the action without lowering your ambition. Separate the loud voice of fear from the quiet voice of your values, and use tiny, concrete moves to act in the direction you chose, even when your emotions are not cooperating. From today on, when you hear yourself thinking, I do not feel ready, I am too nervous, I will wait for a better moment, pause and tell yourself, calm and firm, I may not feel ready, but I can still take one step. I can feel fear and act anyway. I can feel insecurity and speak anyway. That is how my English grows. That is how my life grows. Not by waiting for perfect feelings, but by moving with imperfect feelings in the direction I know is right for me.